listening to it, and I was reflecting that normally when I come to you guys and I'm talking about ways that things that I'm dealing with in my own life, anxieties, sadnesses, frustrations, my anxieties and frustrations are the anxieties and frustrations that some people would kill to have. You know, my children are alive, they are healthy. My partner is wonderful. I obviously have enough food to eat. So it's, and it just made me kind of reflect that, like, life and death are for real. Sickness and mental illness are for real. And I feel called to strive to be kinder and more compassionate than I was yesterday in the face of that immense suffering. Today is the, yesterday, properly speaking, was the lunar eclipse. And we were on the western edge of totality, according to Ari. Thank you very much for letting me in on that. And so last night we went out and looked at the eclipse, and it was gorgeous. And I was looking up the significance traditionally of eclipses. And all traditional agricultural societies are very much, their calendar is lunar. All the religions of the ancient world, their calendar is lunar. And so I happened upon the kind of general aspect of a lunar eclipse in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. And this one writer was saying that one interesting aspect traditionally in Vajrayana or Tibetan Buddhism is, whereas normally the full moon is luminous and bright and sheds her light everywhere, like we talk about it, the full moon sits, but during the lunar eclipse, the kind of outward obvious appearance of the moon goes away. And it reveals like a hidden aspect that is normally not revealed to us. And they were talking about this in terms of our own life. How there's our outward face and our inward face, and the way we deal with the world around us versus the way we deal with ourselves. And on lunar eclipses, or maybe it's this specific, I'm still, the Tibetan tradition is not my home tradition, but I'm interested in it, so I've been reading a lot. But it's either this lunar eclipse or lunar eclipses generally. They talk about this Buddha, this Samantabhadra Buddha. This Samantabhadra, if you've ever seen a picture of a Buddha figure who's completely naked and this kind of dark blue, like a midnight purple blue, indigo blue. They have this brilliant idea, which ties in so nicely from what the historical Buddha taught. The historical Buddha was very clear that this mind of complete awareness is not something manufactured. It's always present. This luminous, vast, infinite awareness is actually always happening. It's just that things get in the way. Habits, patterns, traumas, clinging, aversion, all this kind of stuff. So the Tibetan tradition makes a Buddha or a picture for everything. It's very visual, especially contrasted with the original Indian early Buddhist tradition, which had almost no iconography. So in the Tibetan tradition, they talk about this Samantabhadra, which is the kind of iconography or the embodiment of this primordial luminous awareness. that has never not been. Absolutely awake. If it's kind of an interesting thought twist, I generally think of myself as someone who is working hard to get to a place of kindness, compassion, wisdom, clarity. But actually, all those things are already present. I just need to get out of my own way. And this Samantabhadra is this kind of image of that. This primordial Buddha figure who was never not enlightened and who will never be caught up in illusion. And they were saying that on the lunar eclipse, they talk about this prayer of Samantabhadra, this idea that this Buddha figure made these sacred vows. And I wanted to share one with you because it's really kind of visually beautiful to me. In traditional Buddhism, we have this idea of like countless beings. There's like so many beings, right? And I looked it up today. This is from Wikipedia, y'all. At any time, it is estimated that there are 10, roughly, because who's going to count them? There are 10 quintillion individual insects alive at any one time. Not to give you all the creepy crawlies, I'm sorry. But that's 10, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 individual insects alive at any one time on the planet. Now, granted, we are very different from these insects, obviously, but in some ways, we're very much the same. We are born. We don't pick where we're born. It just kind of happens. We survive somehow, or maybe we don't. Yes, that was a good one. That PA is going to blow up one of these days. We survive, we eat, we procreate, and we die. And in this way, every single one of these insects is living a life that's very analogous to my own life. My life is very important to me, and I think it's very big and very important, but actually, and it's gone. So in this prayer of Samantabhadra, this vow that this Buddha took, this Buddha idea basically took. He says, sentient beings are as limitless as the whole of space. It is my prayer that each one of them effortlessly realizes their true nature. May every single being of all the various realms of existence, who has been at one time or another my mother or father, may attain the ground of primordial awareness and perfection. This is another one of those ideas from traditional Buddhism that fits really neatly within our kind of Neil deGrasse Tyson, Carl Sagan, Isaac Asimov understanding of the universe. Like I said earlier, nothing has come into this world. Nothing has left this world, this cosmos. Everything has always been here in one shape or another. As I'm fond of saying, the iron in our blood was born in the hearts of collapsing stars at the dawn of the cosmos. Like, that's science, y'all. That's for real. In some form or another, you and every single person living or who has ever lived has always been here. And on some level, maybe as an insect, maybe as a buffalo, every being has been your mother or father and tenderly cared for you. This is one of the ways that the Tibetan tradition tries to instill a natural compassion for other beings. Understanding that every being alive has at some point maybe especially the person that you're really pissed off at or that you want to leave the room. They have been at some point your beloved mother or father. They are responsible on some level for your life. This interbeing, this interrelationship with all life is foundational to this practice, and I think can really improve or support our understanding of meditation or of practice writ large. Every interaction we have, every step we take, every breath, everything we do or don't do can be harmonized with and aligned with kindness and compassion for ourselves, for all beings, wherever they may be. And if you are okay with it, I'd like you to find a comfy way of sitting. If you're not already comfy, maybe even take a second. I'm sure there may be some excess anxious hyperactivation in somebody's nervous system. I know I got a fair amount right now. And just, shake it out, move it around, and then come to rest. Like I said at the beginning, rather than our meditation being a practice of trying to cram our experience into a mold that we think is meditation, or maybe shaving off some parts of our life that we don't think belong in meditation for this reason or that. Maybe meditation could be as vast as your entire life and even bigger. For me, the practice is always a question. Hey, Franz, can you meet this with kindness and compassion? What about this? What about this? So right now, exactly as you are, with no need to be any other way than you find yourself right now. What would it feel like in your precious human body, your precious, unique, temporary human body? What would it feel like to hold yourself in unconditional loving kindness? I want to invite you to, if it suits you, maybe put a hand upon your heart. Or maybe hold yourself in an embrace, either mentally or physically. Or perhaps for you, a visual could be helpful. What would it look like to gather yourself up into your precious heart? Or perhaps your heart expands and surrounds you in a luminous, spacious energy. Perhaps even the simple phrases that the Buddha offered his students, you could upon each outgoing breath, in your heart of hearts, mentally recite, may I be happy. May I be safe and healthy. This luminous heart mind that is your birthright, that is your fundamental nature, is so intimate, so tender. In the same way that when clenching a fist, to let go is so pleasant. What would it feel like for your heart to let go like that? And if there's resistance, or if some part of you doesn't think that you deserve to hold yourself in loving kindness, hold that in loving kindness. If there is pain, let there be pain, and let there be compassion for the pain. You and I and the innumerable living beings who were born and died long before us, and the innumerable living beings that will be born and die long after us. All of us, our true nature is this luminous, primordial heart mind, or citta, as the Buddha called it. And all of us are bound together in radical solidarity as beings who are born, who desire to be happy, who carry their hearts in their hands, who are heirs to our thoughts, words, and deeds, and who finally die. You know the wounds in your heart. Can you hold them without turning away? Can you touch those places that have been closed off to you? And if you can't, can you meet that with loving kindness and compassion? I want to invite you to repeat these simple phrases after me. But more importantly, I want to invite you to send them deep into your bones, into your precious flesh, heart, and mind. May I be happy and safe from harm. May I be happy and safe from harm. May I be healthy in body and in mind. May I be healthy in body and in mind. May I be peaceful and free of suffering. May I be peaceful and free of suffering. I want to invite you to understand that all beings are just like this. Every person walking this earth, the kind and the cruel, the wise and the foolish, rich and poor, powerful and powerless, wicked and good, friends, lovers, family, strangers, acquaintances, enemies. All beings are just like this, desiring to be happy, tasting joy and suffering, carrying their hearts in their hands, and born to live and die. From this place of radical solidarity with all that draw a breath, I want to invite you to extend this loving kindness to all beings, everywhere. May all beings be happy and safe from harm. May all beings be happy and safe from harm. May all beings be healthy in body and in mind. May all beings be healthy in body and in mind. May all beings be peaceful and free of suffering. May all beings be peaceful and free of suffering. The Buddha taught his students thus: let one who would be skilled in this way of goodness, let one who would walk their days in peace, let them think like this: in gladness and in safety may all beings be happy at heart, whatever beings there may be, great or small, seen or unseen, near or far, born and yet to be born. May all beings everywhere be happy. As a mother cherishes and protects her child, so should one cherish and protect this attitude of a boundless heart full of loving kindness for all beings. It is the supreme attitude here and now. For my small part, my prayer for you today and every day of my life, may you be happy, May you be safe and healthy. May you live in peace and ease. May you be that refuge that you seek for yourself, for those around you, and for all beings everywhere. May you swiftly unbind your precious heart and walk this path to freedom, wisdom, and kindness, for the benefit and happiness of all beings.